Hey everyone, it is Shifts and Ladders with Ryan Robinson. And guess what? I have a guest with me today for the second time. My transformational coach, Coach Rick, is back in the building. Say hello to the people, Coach.
What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for having me, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And I think we've talked about this before at some point in time, and I just want to tell everyone, tell the audience. I think it's really important for everyone. I know we talk about therapy a lot, and everyone goes to get therapy to heal from their past, but you also have to have somebody to help pull you into your future. And that takes a process of transformation that a lot of people aren't willing to go through. It's a lot of investment, it's in time, it's change, it's challenging. Coach can tell you I have been uh, a knucklehead at times. Let me just use his words to be completely blunt about it. But I think it's worth the wait. And for some of the things that we've talked about, sometimes you got to go through some hard stuff to get to the better stuff. And Coach has been there for a lot of my personal transformation, pivotal moments, help change my mindset. So you actually are getting really an opportunity to observe kind of what we've gone through, particularly me being and going through a level
Mhm.
or a series of changes over the last time we recorded. I think we recorded around Christmas time, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so we're going to just get into it
Let's
um,
get
uh,
it.
in this particular topic. So, Coach and I were talking, it might have been about a week or so ago.
Mhm.
And one of the challenges I personally had, and I gather that most people have this same challenge, but the risk of being authentically
Mhm.
themselves,
Mhm.
um, particularly in their workspace, in their family spaces, all those kinds of things. And what makes it so hard is like you almost feel like you have to be a certain person to please everybody in the room.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I wrestle with that. I wrestle with that a lot. And I'm just getting to this point. So I just want to crack it open to you,
Mhm.
coach. What is the risk of authenticity sound like to you? Just that phrase alone, and then we'll just,
Yeah, I remember us
volley.
dis I remember us, discussing that. One of the things I wanna speak to that when you think about the risk of being you, some people say it's a risk being me. I remember coaching a guy, and we was in Subway, and he said, "I'm afraid of success. I'm afraid of who I will become." I'll
Mhm.
never forget. He had a nice like Mustang car with some rims on it. He was doing good for himself. I used to see him at the gym at LA Fitness, and he was like, "I want your coaching, but I'm afraid of who I'll become, and I don't know what that person looked like." He didn't realize that that would have been taking a calculated risk. A calculated risk is going in the direction of your purpose. A risk, just taking a plain risk, is just jumping off the bridge and not having no guidance, no structure at all. So
Mhm.
I was willing to take him and willing to give him calculated structure so he can take a calculated risk so he can know what it's like to become the best version of himself. But he was afraid. And some people, when they think about the risks of being authentic, some of them, I believe, some individuals, I believe, are afraid of who they actually will see that they are. They will actually be afraid of who they will become. Some are afraid of actually facing the real and true identity of who they are in the mirror. One thing I told someone before, I said, when you wake up in the morning, before you address the world, before you address your clients, before you address your colleagues, address who you are. Give yourself the proper attention that it needs so you can understand your authentic self before you get in the realm of everybody else. And when you
Mhm.
think about the risk of being yourself, I would say it's not a risk being my authentic self. It is a risk if I choose not to be my authentic self. It's
Mhm.
not so much of what will happen when I become real, it's what will happen if I do not become real. And you got to think about, what does it take for you to actually look yourself in the mirror throughout the day, 86,400 seconds in a day, and you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna be myself the entire day, no matter what anyone thinks of me. Now, granted, you want to make sure that everything you do lines up with who you are and who you're becoming and who you have been developed to be. That don't mean you go out there and just act a plum fool. But at the
Mhm.
same time, the not only does the world deserve you, Ryan, to anybody that's listening, not only does the world deserve you, but you deserve yourself. The worst thing you can do is to die and not become the best version of yourself. The worst thing you can do is to die and not be your authentic self your entire life. Think about this. If you didn't take the time to be you, then who are you becoming throughout the day? If you're not taking the time to be your authentic self, then who are you becoming throughout the day?
Right.
I want to meet you. I don't want to meet the person that's on the other side of you, that facade, that false evidence appearing. I want to see who you are. I want to see the authentic version, because that's the person I want to coach. That's the person I want to sit down and have a cigar with. That's the person I want to develop with. That's the person I may want to coach me. At the end of the day, I want to be in relationship with the authentic version of you, not the phony fake version of you. That person ain't gonna get far, but you will.
Man. Okay. I gotta unpack that. We gotta unpack that. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure we don't get any interruptions. I gotta make sure all the RAM's available, all of that, because this is
absolutely
this is critical. Yeah, we're just gonna be raw with it, because this is okay. So this is the part that I'm thinking about here.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, and this is I'm just being transparent here, I found that it is hard to keep up with different versions of you in different areas that you go to. Mm-hmm. And I think most people don't understand how stressful that actually is, which again, it is what it is. But like, people change up their language when they're around certain people. They change up their tone. They change up their conversation. They change up the way they dress. And again, if it, people say, if it's, they do it so they don't stand out. Mm-hmm. But really, what I've been finding out is like trying to fit in is actually standing out. And you're the only person that think you're doing a good job fitting in.
And when you think about when you say the standing out part, I always say leaders don't fit in. Real leaders stand out. Mm-hmm. We stand out. And when you keep switching up clothes and switching up conversations and switching up your stature and who are you trying to become to fit the description of who you think they want you to be, not only are you switching up all the material things, you're switching up your identity.
Yeah.
That means you're 5 different people in 5 different places trying to achieve one goal.
Yeah, man. I think that's crazy, because like I didn't, just for me, I didn't realize how much you almost like cut yourself into pieces. It's so funny, and I don't. My wife loves Harry Potter, and one of the Voldemort, the villain, what's crazy about it was he actually, in order to not be destroyed, he broke himself off into multiple pieces and hid himself. I didn't even put this together till you started saying it, and put himself in artifacts that if people were to find it, it would destroy a part of him, but it wouldn't destroy all of him. And
does that mean that he was afraid of showing up fully, or?
He was, yeah, because the thing is, like, he wanted power. And because he wanted power, he thought that being all of himself would actually keep him from actually being a target. So in order to keep himself safe, and in many cases, Eternals, or, whatever the case is in Harry Potter world, he split himself up so that he couldn't get destroyed unless you found all of these artifacts and destroyed them.
But see, sometimes that's tricky, because to me, if I'm following you, he thought he was better broken than he was together. He thought let me tell you something, brother, from a person who's been traumatized and dealt with a lot of trauma and coaching the area as well. you're better off together being whole than you are broken. Now, you can make it off the broken pieces, but to break yourself, that's a self-inflicted injury. I want you to think about how bad a self-inflicted injury is. When someone commits, so I heard somebody say, when you're talking to an insurance person, when a person commits suicide, you don't even get the life insurance, or the person who is next to you don't even get the life insurance because it was a self-inflicted injury. So when you hurt yourself, you don't even get what you've been planning and saving for, or anybody around you, because you inflicted yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you think, or people think, or we think that we can make it if we separate ourselves is an indication that we don't trust ourselves. And it's sad. It's sad because, Ryan, you are a very intellectual guy. And if you were to try to break yourself up to fit in over here, to fit in over there, and when you finally get me and I really need you, I'm going to suffer because I'm not getting all of you. And sadly, the person that you cut your part, the half of you that you separated over there is the part that I may need. And people don't realize that every time you divide yourself, you're not divide and conquer. You're slicing and dicing your identity because you don't believe you are enough whole right here for this one person or this one being or wherever you're at in the time that you are in. At the end of the day, you don't have to be broken into pieces to deliver the full message. Mm-hmm. The message is you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. The world needs all of you. You better off whole than you are broken. You're better off live than you are dead.
Man, coach. Okay, that works. Hold on one second. This is, I gotta. Okay, so you said that even like me breaking off my individual like parts of myself in other places, you actually might need a piece that I'd left off with another person, right?
Not so, might, I will.
I will. Okay, I will. So what and how can someone bring themselves together again and start to be able to bring that peace? Because I believe probably someone's scared that the peace that they left won't be accepted in this area, this arena that they go into. So like, you know, you can bring your work. Some people bring their work home, but they don't bring their home self to work. Like there's parts of yourself that, you know what I'm saying? So why do we compartmentalize so much? What are we scared of?
It's so many different ways of looking at it. We can start with external validation. Mm-hmm. A lot of individuals want that external validation. They want proof from you that they are good enough. They don't believe it themselves. Some people need someone on the outside to validate what they carry on the inside. Think about that. Mm-hmm. How can I be the one to validate what you carry when ultimately what you carry can ultimately bless me? So therefore, I can't really be the one to validate what it is that I'm going to ultimately need from you. You bring so much to the table. Who am I to dictate what it is that you carry, how much you carry, and how you can deliver it? When you get to a place in life where you stop looking for outside validation and seek who you are and what you carry and whose you are, mm-hmm. and understand what that looks like and how you can do that, and also making sure that you're around individuals who value who you are, you won't tear away from who you are and what you provide as much as you're doing now. And the thing is understanding the value of who you are will prevent you from tearing down who you are.
Okay.
Understanding the value of who you are, what you possess, will prevent you from tearing down who you are and what you possess. We do it in so many different ways, in so many different fashions and format, because we believe that a little bit over here and a little bit over there is going to impress him, is going to impress her. But we have to think about it like this. Do you think that you're really going to impact or impress anyone by giving them 10% of who you are?
You know,
Do you know so many
no.
people don't even get a call back because you only gave that person 10%, and you got 100% of you spread it throughout your entire city by trying to impress and impact everyone, let them know who you are and what you bring to the table, when ultimately you should be at one place at one time, giving them everything that you provide,
Mhm.
120%. And you can show up and accumulate what you're trying to do in 15 places in one place in one time.
Yeah. So you bring up a really, really good point. I think what we have done is made ourselves a mile wide and a centimeter deep
Mm-hmm.
instead of being a centimeter wide and a mile deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most people are okay just being shallow. I'm not going to pretend I've been there. Like, I've done it. I got the T-shirt, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I think being shallow has safety in it. It's like, think about I'm trying to think of man, I'm trying to think of something where you there's that picture, that meme of like, hey, you're gonna keep, there's like, you're close to diamonds, there's two guys, one's looking for diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
one's digging, one gets there, but one stops right before he gets there and says, like, if I just kept going, I would have hit it. I would have found the gold or the diamonds. I think most people just like to stop right at the line because of what they could find. And maybe it's protection to keep them from actually being hurt. But this is the other part too. I think people don't really know what they're looking for or really knowing what they have. So how can someone take an inventory of what they have? Because you can see how you treat people. And coach, you've had to coach me through this. Because like I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna be transparent on this pod. I did not know the effect that I had on people. I thought my gift was this thing, but really my gift was actually something I didn't necessarily value because I didn't see its impact on people.
Mm-hmm.
So how can individuals, and again, you've helped me with this, but I can always use a refresher.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? How can people find out and understand and value what they have, or at least learn to value it? Because half the time they don't see it.
They don't. A lot of people don't see it. Well, a lot of people don't see it because the people they around don't see it and don't acknowledge it in them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't see it because they're married to somebody who don't see it. A lot of people don't see it because they work for somebody who don't see it. So when you got a lot of people overlooking you, you begin to overlook yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody around you act as if you don't exist, and in your mind, I don't exist. Sometimes we believe we only exist in the realm of providing people who are around us what they need versus providing what we need.
Mm-hmm.
When you're so focused on only giving the world what they need and not you, you believe you only exist for them and not for yourself.
Oh.
And when you're thinking about existing for yourself, that's when you start thinking about, what do I need?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be honest with yourself. When I'm in a fight, when I'm in a mental fight, and mental health is my thing. When I'm in a mental fight, I have to discover what the fight is all about. Why am I fighting? Who am I fighting? What am I fighting for? If I don't understand any of that, if I cannot conceptualize why I am in the ring, but I can feel the pain, but I don't know what I'm swinging at and why I'm swinging for, then at that moment, I'm going to continue the fight that I've been losing continuously, because I haven't taken time to figure out, or should I say, to discover what the fight is all about in me. See,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has been given a life. We have been given a calling, a purpose. And if you don't understand what that is, then how would you know to answer the call when you're being pulled on, when you're, like you say, when your anointing is being pulled on?
Mm-hmm.
when your call has been pulled on? How do you know to actually answer the call when you're so busy fighting something that you haven't discovered? You
Mm-hmm.
cannot get in a ring unless you actually know the person that you're fighting. Y'all got to be the same weight size. Y'all got to have the same this and the same that, whatever they require. There's certain requirements that make sure that you both are aligned in order for you to fight, to say you legally won this championship. If I am fighting for my life mentally and I haven't discovered what the fight is all about, then some people some people think, then why should I keep fighting? I might as well give up.
Yeah,
If you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything. Why should I keep living? There's nothing else out there for me, because they haven't discovered the fight. When I understood, all right, think about it like this: understanding the algorithm of your life. It's one thing to understand the algorithm of your day, to know what your day consists of.
Mm-hmm.
But to understand the algorithm of your life, I'm an individual that people usually call me when they're going through a crisis. People call me when they want to become the best version of themselves. Or sometimes people call me when they're at the end, where they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually I can be like, why everybody call me when they feel like it's a dead situation?
Mm-hmm.
And I can hear God saying to me, if they don't call on you, then who would they call? You got to understand that the fight that you have within you, Coach Rick, is you have the ability to breathe life on a dead situation. When I understand my fight, I don't complain in the battle.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand your fight, you don't complain in a battle.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel uneasy. It may seem like this is not attainable.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm called to the fight and I've discovered that this is my type of battle and this is what I'm called to, then at the end of the day, I'm going in knowing that I'm coming out as a winner. I don't know how I'm going to win all the time. I don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. But at the end of the day, once I learn how to embrace who I am and accept who I am, see, that's the difference. You have to embrace who you are in the fight and know that you are capable of doing what you need to do at the time that you are called to that battle, and not complain about it. This is your war, your fight. You must win it. Win it mentally before you win it physically. And again, I'm saying all of this because I have discovered my fight. I took an analysis on this self-inventory on who I am. What am I called to? What drives me the most? What irritates me the most? Somebody said before, I think a Dr. Miles Monroe said, whatever irritates you the most are the thing that you're usually called to. What irritates you the most?
Mm-hmm.
I used to always want to help people master the fundamentals of development or purpose in life, because it irritated me when somebody didn't know their purpose, or it hurt me when they didn't know where they were going in life. And I wanted to become the solution to their problem. So therefore, I knew that anytime that somebody didn't have direction, I could be a roadmap to their destiny. So when things got a little rocky, I know the things that I'm called to are rocky situations. So I can't complain on the road to the destiny. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I'm helping you, I'm also on the road to my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be going in the same direction as you, but as long as I'm aligned with what I'm doing to help you, I'm also going in the direction of my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Again, understanding and discovering your battle, your fight, will allow you to continue to fight and believe in yourself versus just cutting yourself off from the world and breaking yourself down into small pieces and separating yourself all around the city and expecting 110-fold. It's not going to happen like that. If you're not willing to give 120% to the world, then how can you expect 110-fold when you're broken into 100 different pieces all around the city?
Mm. Yeah, that around the city ain't good.
No, it ain't. Because everybody's getting a different version of you.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you said something, Coach, that I thought was really interesting. And it was around the piece of when you are determining who you are in the fight, you size yourself up and know you have to first know your own attributes, right? You have to know what kind of body blow you can give, what kind of reach you have. You actually have to study yourself, really. And one of the things about studying yourself, and maybe we can expound on this, it's for some people that seems like it's selfish.
To
to
study
be
yourself.
to study yourself. But I would argue that it's actually more loving to know what you bring. I think mostly in the context, people think selfish because they think like, oh, I know what value I can create, meaning how much money I can make, versus how much um, intrinsic value of feeling fulfilled, being built up, having joy, having direction, the peace of mind that comes with knowing that you've learned, in our case, like you have peace of mind knowing that Jesus is with you all the time, walking with you, being guiding you, not judging you. He saved you, so he's always kept you from, like, there's information kind of like that, that once you've gained it, you can't take it away. But those are, you didn't put a dollar sign in an amount to that. You've gotten that through some kind of transfer that you can't put a spiritual transfer, if you will, something intangible. So, how can we help people? Here it is. Help people view their self-discovery and growth as not as something selfish, but as actually something selfless. How can we help people with that?
So
Help me, actually.
So this is what I'll say.
Selfishly.
Information will change your situation. And when you think about this, it's one thing to be informed, it's another thing to be misinformed. And I want to inform anyone that is listening that I don't think you're being selfish. I think it'd be selfish if you didn't take the time to discover and evaluate who you are and what you bring to the table, because when you do that, you have a clear understanding of the people that you're serving. See, when I think about that, Ryan, I'm not thinking about it for my own good. I'm thinking about it for the people that I'm serving. I'm going to benefit as soon as I help you achieve your goal anyway. So some people look at it like this. I feel like it's selfish because I may be thinking about it for myself, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to achieve this. I don't go into it thinking about myself. I go into it thinking of who I can serve. I'm going to protect myself along the way. That don't mean I'm not going to protect myself. I'm going to protect myself. And this is the thing. It is going to be rewarding to you and your spirit as long as you're making sure that everything that you possess is there for the people that are around you. See, the gift that you have within you is not for you. It's a gift. You must give it and pass it on to individuals that you are called to. So I don't wake up with me in mind all the time. Me. I wake up with the mindset of who can I serve? Who can I impact? Who life can I change? Who can I help? Who can I breathe a life into? Somebody's situation is feeling like it's ending right now. Somebody's ready to commit suicide. And if I can develop who I am to the best version of myself every single day, from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet, I can be a better version for you, not just for me. So I won't only think about myself. If I was them, I'll start thinking about the people that they serve and who are they called to. Ask yourself, when you think about what it is that you carry and what it is that you have been given, think about the people that you're usually called to that deal with that same issue. If you are the solution to somebody's problem, think about the things remember what I said before, I said it to you, the thing that you are dealing with right now, I guarantee will be the thing that you help solve the issue in later. Whatever you're dealing with at this very moment, you will be the solution to that problem later in somebody else's life. We got to take time to think about it. You're not just going through that problem just because the world want to see you suffer. You're going through it because you're going to be the solution to somebody else's problem once you make it through. See, it ain't all about us. It's not all about you. It's about the people that are connected to you. If it's all about you, you wouldn't make it as far. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people that I serve. I would have been and committed suicide. I'd have been and threw in the towel, and I would have been and given up. Let me tell you why. Because I didn't believe I was enough to continue to fight.
For yourself.
For myself. At one point I didn't. And when I started realizing it through the people I was serving. And
Mm-hmm.
when I saw them get a return on their investment, then I realized that I am of value to this world.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I was at the cliff, I no longer want to jump unless I was doing it by faith to help somebody save somebody's life.
Yeah. It's why that's good. And I think most, and just when we are, it's crazy how we get that backwards. Like how we think that focusing on ourselves and actually take that back, developing ourselves is actually selfish. While we think that or let me use one of your words here, lack of optimizing your gifting
Yeah. Yeah.
is actually the most selfish but also best way to serve people, because you are actually making what you are naturally gifted in better, to be of better value, being a mile deep, to serve them at deeper levels, different areas, more impactful moments where you can just relate and speak
Mm-hmm.
to that.
Mm-hmm.
I found that it is, most people like to just, and this is me, this is what I had been for a long time, was like I used to just want to be everywhere. My wife and I were just talking about this not too long ago, how much I was just all over the place. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was going to church every day during the week. Man, did you see the thumb? Even the computer agreed with me. What's happening right now? Um, I used to be at work all the time late. Um, and what I was doing was I was negating things at home, right? So because I was giving out everywhere else, I was thinking I was doing ministry because I was doing many things
Mm-hmm.
and not doing anything with depth. I was good at just being, there's a quote here by Benjamin Franklin that most people forget. It's like, there's a jack of all trades, master of none. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it's a misquote. It's actually a jack of all trades, a master of one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I
So,
read that.
yeah, man. So I used to just be all over the place, thinking like I can do a little bit here, I can do a little bit there. And I had no depth in certain areas.
Which
Um,
means you were visible, but you wasn't present.
yeah,
We can see you, but you're not present.
yeah.
That's like a daddy. That's like a daddy been in a room, but who he's supposed to be to the son or the daughter doesn't even exist. They be like, he's over there, but he's not really here.
Right.
We can see him, but his presence is not in the room. It's one thing to be visible. It's another thing to be present.
So that brings me to another point. So that brings me to another point. So authenticity, the risk of it,
Mm,
actually requires you being in the moment. I'm
mm,
finding,
mm.
um,
You are
because
the moment.
okay, you
You
gotta
are.
you can't
You
just
are.
let's talk about it. You just can't say that. And
He said, "You just can't." You said the risk of say it again. The risk of what? Say it all over
I said
again.
the risk of authenticity requires you to actually be present. Like that's
In the
how
moment.
in the
Okay.
moment. Yeah.
And when I
Yeah.
say that, when I say you are the moment, you exist in that moment for whoever and whenever at the time that the moment is happening. You cannot get that moment back. Once the moment is over, it is over, which means that if you are being used at that moment, you are the moment for the situation. If you are the solution, you are the moment.
Mm,
You are the thing. You are the solution. You are the moment. And I say that because I want people to understand. I want them to be able to visualize that when they are in a moment, when you're having a moment, say if I would say me and my wife is having a moment. In that moment, we are the thing that make it exist. We are the thing that make it happen. We
mhm,
can make and break that moment. You cannot get a moment back. The moment is going to be over as soon as you blink your eye, whether it be a second of a moment, 2 seconds of a moment, 3 seconds, whatever it may be. A moment is whatever you do with the time that you have in that moment. You are the moment. You are the reason. You are the solution. You are the outcome of whatever happened in that moment. Sometimes we just think that we in the moment and whatever happened. No, the moment is taking place because of you.
So you bring that with you.
You bring that with you.
Yeah.
If you're toxic and you show up at my front door with all kind of toxicity, and we in here and we're trying to take things to the next level, we're having a mastermind group, developing ourselves, and you come in with all that negative energy, you just somewhat interrupted or killed the moment because it's what you carry. And if you can disrupt the moment, then you got to understand that you are the moment in the moment.
Got you.
You are the thing that exists.
Right. So you brought that to that moment.
You brought it.
you brought that to the meeting moment. Yeah.
You brought it to the moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see.
It consists of everything that everybody's carrying.
Okay. So let me run this back because I think this is going to help some folks. So if you are bringing yourself to a moment and you have situations where you are, let's just go a positive route. People are laughing, they're joking around. You're creating a lot of great moments and conversations and jokes, and y'all breaking bread, all that kind of stuff. That creates a moment because you've brought something special to that time. But if you are bringing brokenness and jealousy and envy and strife to a moment, if something that's broken in you, when you with someone who actually brings that out in you, if you're not healed from it, you will create you will create that moment because of some areas that are still broken in you, because that's what you brought. That's who you are at that time. So you just brought who you are, and they brought who they are to the moment. Okay.
And you guys collectively created whatever moment you created at that moment.
I see.
Whatever it is that you created and brought to the table, that's what became the moment. That's how sometimes you can sit with someone, you be like, can I get a moment to speak with you, please?
Yeah, I see. You have to confront something, me, and then what they brought, and I have to address in the moment.
In the moment. In the moment. Whatever happens in the moment, I need you to know that you have the authority of making it right or making it bad. And I say that so much because I want people to know that there is so much existence in who they are. Sometimes we think we're just there. No, you're not just there to be there. It is a reason you are where you are right now. And we have to monetize that moment. We have to do what we need to do in order for us to achieve whatever it is that we have to in the moment, by understanding my existence in this very moment has been ordained for me to be here. You have to know that you are that important to the world. Do not overlook the moments to get another minute in life to try to figure out what you want to do, what you want to achieve, where I should become. Sometimes we overlook the moments to get through the day. The moments make up the day.
Dude,
they make up the day.
That's true.
If I overlook this moment right now, Ryan, I'm overlooking you. Because in this moment, I get to share time with my brother.
Yeah.
So anytime you overlook any moment that you are in, you're overlooking yourself, trying to see and visualize someone else.
And it took a bunch of moments for us to get to this moment that actually makes this moment more special.
There you go. There we go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. That was a bar.
That was good how you said that.
Yeah.
But it's good because you took it in. You thought about it. You could in the beginning be like, okay, what does he mean that I am the moment? But you took the time to think and ask yourself, which what I love about it is you took time out for yourself to comprehend what it is that I'm saying, so you can now understand how important you are in the moment.
In the moment, man. And it took a moment.
It took a moment. It took a moment.
Yeah. There was a man, I don't know. So we're getting on a couple of topics that I didn't even think about we would get to, but you know how we roll. So there is a book called The Power of Moments, actually, by Chip Heath, I believe, and he has a brother that he co-authored the book with, and I completely forgot about it, but it just came to my mind. It was saying that we may have actionable times, but our critical moments are actually the most memorable. So when we have that cigar or that drink with someone and have that kind of conversation, we created a moment. Mm-hmm. And the power of that moment actually has more impact on us than any point. Like there's parts in my brain, man, and you said it's like my mind. I remember some of people may not think about like, oh, like that was kind of small. I remember some of the weirdest moments, like impactful moments and things that might have been small to somebody else, but were meaningful to me. What someone said to me, or if I was in high emotions, all that kind of stuff. But what those are moments, and they happen in the span of time. Mm-hmm. So what we're getting to now, really, Coach, is like time. The only resource that we really can't get back, because authenticity is experienced in a present moment, which is a small piece of time. Mm-hmm. So I was going somewhere with this. Give me a second. You know how I get going.
Hey, take your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna take a moment.
But I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it when you think about the time. I get it. So when we think about, as soon as you wake up, I remember I was doing some studying and someone mentioned, they said, do you realize how much energy you put into who you are before you even start your day? Think about what you eat. Think about how you supply your energy, what you eat, what you drink, what you listen to. All of that impacts how you act, how you think, and how you feel. It makes up your personality, your reality. When you think about all the things that you put together to give yourself the energy you need to start your day, what do you do with the time? When you realize what all you have done, do you continue to procrastinate? Or do you actually use every single thing that you have given yourself for the energy that you have in this moment to be the best version of yourself? What do you do with that? If you wake up and before you even start your day, you have done at least 30 different things and you don't even realize it. But what are you going to do with the time when it actually starts in the moment for you to actually get the job done? You may show up at work at 8:00, but you've been up since 6. That's 2 hours of energy. Yeah. That's 2 hours of existence. You have been actually placing things within you or on you to create the energy that you need so you can optimize yourself when you're at work. So when you talk about time, what are we doing? What are we doing? What you got to ask ourselves, what are we doing with the time that we have left? Mm-hmm. You got to think about all these things that right now, this is energy field. Did I come to this podcast just like, you know what, man, it's just a podcast, man, let's get on here and chop it up a little bit and I'm out? Or did I bring the energy that I need to fulfill the desires of someone who's listening? Mm-hmm. What are you bringing to the table? Yeah. Or are you just showing up at the barbecue? You never bring anything to the table. You're never asking the people what they need. Mm-hmm. What can I offer? It ain't about you showing up for you and only you. It's about you showing up in that time for yourself. And I was just thinking about that when you was mentioning time. And some of us are wasting it because we don't believe in ourselves. But if you can at least believe in the people that you're serving, you'll start to believe in yourself because you'll realize how impactful you are to the world.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, man, that's good, man. I'm just realizing now, man, like, what is happening? I didn't even do anything. Listen, y'all. I love.
Where
I
you
love
go,
our.
man? Where you at? You down there? You good?
Yeah. Daggone. Hold on. Daggone it, coach. You know what happened?
What happened, my brother?
The
You got caught up in the moment.
I did. I got caught up, man. The
Don't
you know
lose
what's
sight of who
funny?
you are in the moment, man. Don't lose sight of who you are in the
Yeah.
moment.
The camera stopped. My camera died. Anyway,
It
we're gonna keep
did.
it. Yeah, my camera, the battery died. So we just gonna keep it rolling. Actually, we just gonna keep going because this is
I had some notes that I want to share with you.
yeah. Let me do this. Hold on. I don't even. It's still doing something. Hold on. That's crazy, Coach. I just plugged this thing in. I'm gonna have to figure out. Listen, this is probably one of. I just gonna say this just outright. This is one of the best podcasts, really, because there's been so much over the like today. Just the fact that are getting connected, the things that went in between us, conversations that we're dealing with, work circumstances, so on and so forth. I think it's just a great example of even when things aren't appearing as much as good as you want them to appear per se, you have to find ways to get beyond it and figure out how you can still be in the moment and not lose it because something died.
Think about this, man. Some people will get frustrated right now because they're only thinking about themselves, not knowing that everything we're doing right now to make sure that this is correct is for the ear that is listening.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some people think it's all about them. When I fight, I know it's to help somebody through the battle. Somebody is struggling, and everybody don't know how to maintain and sustain a good fight on the level that they're on right now. So he is going to use you. Right now, we may be going through some technical difficulties, but at the end of the day, if we stay in the fight, somebody's life will be changed. You only need one ear to be listening. Only one ear needs to be listening. The more I was thinking about the moment I said something about it, I had some notes. The more you complain about your present moment, the further you distance yourself from your future self. The more you complain about the present moment, the further you distance yourself from your future self.
Mm-hmm.
If I complain about now, I'll never make it to later.
Mm.
And later is where I want to be. Now is where I'm going through. But now, in this moment of whatever I'm going through, will be the keys to my later, which means that will be the very thing that start my future self. That will be the very thing that I need. Mm-hmm. You know, have you ever seen in a movie somebody keep complaining about a certain thing and they keep poking them or they keep saying it, and like 20 minutes into the movie, they look up and be like, I need this. Mm-hmm. The very thing we complain about is the key to our future self. Don't overlook the situation. Don't overlook what you're carrying just because it may feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. You know what? And it's so crazy you mentioned that. It's like, just because it's actually trying to bring your attention to the future. Like, even though it's bothering you now, it's actually preparation for the future. Because what I've found out now, Coach, and just working with you, I realized that the present moment is the future coming in and then going. So I mean,
you're discovering your fight.
Yeah.
At this moment when you do this, you are discovering your fight. So when that happens, you fight because you understand my future is trying to let me know or trying to give me something that I need. Mm-hmm. In this moment, my future self is dealing with my present self.
Yeah. It's pulling you.
It's pulling you.
Yeah.
It's pulling you.
Yeah. I also think, Coach, it's really hard. What's really hard about that, though, for me, and just what it was hard for me, and yet I have not graduated at all yet, but I've made a lot of progress towards this, is realizing that what I'm working on, is recognizing that whatever I'm going through in my present moment and way I view the circumstances that I've gone through. So we just use this camera, for example. The camera going out is in the past now. I can't fix it, right? So I could have said, man, Ryan, you big dummy, like you didn't charge the camera all the way, or I didn't do something. So I could be saying, man, this podcast isn't going to be great. But what I decided to do in that gap, in that space and time, was like, you know what? I'm going to do and make this the best podcast still. It may not be everything visually that I'd want it to be, but I'm going to take the time to define a past moment better than what it could take away from me, right? So I decided to put a positive spin on a situation that has the potential to go either way if I choose to. So I feel like most people choose to define, and again, not saying that things aren't bad. Things do suck sometimes.
Yeah.
But also our present self actually provides meaning to past moments. And you can really, with all the work and stuff that you've gone with me, I've had to, even though there were certain moments in my life that were not good, I was able to redefine them as something positive. So now instead of saying, man, that sucked, I'm like, man, that wasn't good, but I'm glad that it did. That's why people say, I was, what is it, Job? It says it was good. Oh, no, Paul says
that I was afflicted.
It was good that I was afflicted. And because he was able to see and define that past moment in a present perspective that propels him to his future. I think that's the hardest thing to do, Coach, because everyone has that negative bias immediately when they go through something.
And I agree, we do. But just because it's happening don't mean it's happening to you. Just because it's happening don't mean it's happening to you. Just because it's your birthday and it rained don't mean God is raining down on you as if it's going to be a bad day. People sometimes, man, it's raining on my birthday, it's going to be a bad day. It was a day it was raining. It just happened to rain. The sun is shining, it's going to be a great day. It was going to the sun was going to shine before it was your birthday.
Right.
See, the thing is, we overlook things or look into things so deeply that we miss the things that are so minute. We miss the things that we really need to see. We really need to see because we think something is bigger than what it is. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
That's me.
There's so many things happening in life. If you have a dent in your truck, what am I not going to drive on the highway now because I got a dent in my truck and the whole world going to look at me and think I'm a bad guy because there's a dent in my truck. I let a dent happen to my truck. It's life. Things are going to happen along the way. It's not only what you go through, but it's who you become along the way. And again, understanding and discovering your fight will give you the strength you need to endure along the way, but also would allow you to ultimately see who you have become when you actually arrive at your destiny.
Man, Coach, I'll tell you, man, you've had to knock me off a couple moments of like, you're like, why are you focusing on that?
Yeah.
Like, what's the
focus
mission?
Attention. You got to think about focus attention. What has your attention the most? Because I know what you're capable of doing, and I believe in you, and I believe in the thing that you have been called to do. And when I see you focus on something that is distracting you, I want to snatch that thing away from you. I want to pull it out of your vision. I want you to be aware of it, but not dwell on it. Be aware that it's over there. Be aware that you're trying to be distracted, are things that are trying to distract you. But do not dwell on the thing. Because when you dwell on the thing that is trying to distract you, or the person or they're trying to distract you, it will become your focus. And that focus does not give you clear vision on where you're headed in life. When you let the outside negativity, naysayers distract you, not only are they distracting you, but they're distracting you from helping the people that are called to you. Don't allow people to suffer just because you want to continue to look at someone who's causing you to be distracted. There's nothing over there. There's nothing over there. There's nothing over there. There's nothing over there.
I just recall you telling me that in a coaching session. Like, I could just hear you. I could just hear you saying that. Like, Ryan, why are you spending time over there? Well, you know, no. Is it serving you over there? No.
It's not serving.
Then why are you spending time? Listen, I'm going to tell y'all, Coach has spent some time just getting me out of my rut. It's like I got stuck in, you know, when the old record players be like, 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 I would get stuck in that.
But it ain't the record that's messed up. We think, oh, I'm jacked up. It's not the record that's messed up. There's some things you're dealing with on the outside that's causing the record. That's why they pull it up and move it to the side. Fix what they need to fix, then put it back. You don't take the record and get rid of it.
You fixed the needle. You fixed all the
needle. Come on now. Don't throw away the prize.
I was just about to throw something, though, actually.
Don't throw away the prize. Don't throw away the thing that everybody need to hear. Everybody came to the party to hear that record, and you're going to get rid of it just because the needle is messing up? What do people say when they're on the dance floor? Why'd you cut that song off? Because they was living in the moment. And they know that I can't. And when he played the song again, I want them to see if you know when, all right, they were living in the moment. When they sometimes try to play the song again, and the people on the dance floor, they usually do what? Some of them, I want to see if you see, what you think about what they usually do.
When they play it again?
When he try to play it again, what do some people do? Or most people do?
Oh, some of them walk off.
Pause. There you go. They leave because the moment is over. Why did you stop playing? You see what I'm saying? If you were to take that record and get rid of it because you thought it was something wrong with you, they didn't left your life. They didn't left the dance floor because you just killed the moment. When all of the time you didn't realize they were cool, they were grooving, they were growing. But when you took the needle off and moved the record and got rid of it, they looking at you like you got rid of the wrong thing, man. We were grooving. Why would you do that? I don't even want to play the song. I'm like, I don't even want to listen to it no more, man. And when people don't want to listen to you, think about that, Ryan. I'm gonna let you go. Think about that. Can you imagine somebody not wanting to be around you or listen to you anymore because you keep throwing out the very thing that they need within you?
Coach, you know what? I think we've all. I ain't got no answers for that one. But that was a rhetorical question.
It's something that I just want you to think about because we are so quick to throw ourselves to the wolves and get mad and upset when we get bit. Why would you throw yourself to the wolves? Just because you didn't like how things look? You don't like how things sound? Somebody told you no? Okay. How many no's does it take you to get to a yes? Because my wife ain't listening to me? It doesn't mean that you're not saying nothing great. She probably can't conceptualize what you're saying yet. She may need time to process it. We are so quick to cut off the head of the body and forget about the heart. What about the heart? You feel me? What about the heart? You know what I'm saying? You just going, now that is selfish. The fact that you will get rid of who you are. And hear me when I say this, because I want to let people know I ain't talking about suicide at that moment. I'm talking about just giving up on life when you are still living. That's selfish because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to this world. How dare you quit when you are the solution? If you do that, you're saying, forget them, forget me, forget it. No, we can't do that. You are needed. Because again, what about the heart? What about what you have once felt? 3 months ago, 3 years ago, you had a heart. You have a heart. What do you feel? To feel something that you know that impacts how you live and just say, forget it, that could be selfish to those that you love. And we know it, but some of us can't live with the thought of what we feel or what we see. But it's up to you to change your reality. It's up to us to change our reality. You got to fight. We got to fight every single day to see and live, to see another day. And I understand. And some people look at it and say, I remember a cat looked at me, he said, man, I'll never commit suicide. I'll never do this. I'll never do that, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But I want to be motivated and encouraged like you, man. I want that desire, that fire desire that you have. I said, man, you talking to a person that had a gun in his mouth. And he looked at me like, I said, sometimes, man, you don't realize what it took for me to get here. See, some people would say, people who think like that are weak. I made it. And I'm not weak. I had a very weak moment. And I wanted to throw in the towel and give up. But my heart was pumping. And every time it pumped, it just reminded me to live another day, fight another day. One of my things that I think about every single day, Ryan, it ain't that deep. Just keep living. That's what I say to myself every day. Keep living, coach. Keep living. Keep living. You're going through hell. Keep living. Suicidal. Keep living. My life is on the line, coach. Keep living. My boss ignores me. Keep living. My wife criticized me. Keep living. I'm not who I used to be. Keep living. Things ain't what it used to be. Keep living.
Right.
Coach, I ain't made it yet. Keep living.
Keep living.
Keep living. Keep living. For somebody who's thinking suicidal, keep living. I don't know why should I live. Don't even worry about why. Just keep living. You'll figure it out when you get there. You'll figure it out when you get there. Just keep living. Keep fighting, man. There's a blessing on the other side of your victory. There's a blessing on the other side of you living. There's a blessing on the other side of you giving it another day. But you have to keep living. Just keep living. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. How is irrelevant.
But did you? The fact. What's the fact, though?
Just keep living. Keep living.
You know what's crazy, Coach? There was one thing that in the Bible, we talk about the armor of God. I believe it's in Ephesians 6. Talking about putting the whole armor of God, helmet of salvation, breastplate of truth. Was it the breastplate of righteousness? I can't remember all the assortment of the armor and all the pieces.
Say it again.
Paul said, put on the whole armor of God.
Helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, and all of that. Yeah.
And one of the things that you do, it doesn't say to fight. It said that once you assemble all of this, you will do all of this to stand. It had nothing to do with fighting. It had everything to do with standing. You had the shield of faith, anointed with the shield of faith. And the shield of faith was to quench the fiery darts of the enemy. Right? And so crazy about that is that if the shield of faith wasn't anointed, it would catch fire because the shield was made out of leather. So if you ever had dry leather, that thing cuts you if you don't put oil on it. I'm saying all that to say is, no one said the outcome, because you had the armor, the outcome was going to always be favorable.
Yeah.
But just showing up and standing in the moment, standing in that moment in time with your friends, bringing your authentic self, and just showing up to battle actually in a crazy way is the risk to your authenticity.
When I think about that, if you're going to be prepared to die, at least have your uniform on.
Mm-hmm.
He had his uniform on.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to die fully geared, prepared, and ready.
Mm-hmm.
Some people show up without their full uniform on,
Mm-hmm.
which means they don't show up as their authentic selves to protect what it is that they carry.
My Bible's over there. I would have thrown the book at you.
If I show up with the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, when I show up with those things, I'm showing up with things that I need to withstand a fight. Mm-hmm. If there is even a fight. Yeah. I'm prepared.
You're geared up in case there's a fight.
Some people show up without the gear, and they wonder why they keep losing.
Yeah, man. Hold on, I'm about to pull this up just so because I can't. I gotta pull this up so we have it so you can see this, because this is incredible. It is. I want to make sure, because we're gonna put it on the pod, because I want to make sure that people have it, so at least they know they gotta stay geared up and fully geared up with themselves and who they are.
Some notes on that.
It is. Yep, it's Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. And I'm gonna read it if I may. It's about 16 verses. Yeah, it was about 16, 17 verses. So I'll just read this real quick. Mm-hmm. So, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Here it is, that you may stand. That's it.
There you go.
For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. That's crazy. Therefore, stand girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly, and to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. And this is the thing. Paul says it here clearly. He says, when I'm fully geared up, I may be able to be for which I am an ambassador. And in that, I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. He says, once I got all my stuff, I can do my job. Come on.
He discovered himself and discovered the purpose of his fight. Mm-hmm. And he came geared.
Yeah.
Geared up. See, the thing was, not only people lose because they don't have the gear, they don't know who they are with the gear on. Mm. Everything you just read was described who I am with the gear on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who are you with the gear off? Which means, if that's the case, and if that's who I am, then I need to stay geared up every single day.
Yes.
we're starting our day without our gear. Can you imagine what it would like if everybody left the house naked and didn't put no clothes on?
It'd be scary.
It wouldn't look right. It'd be scary.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, we're still doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're leaving the house getting ready for work, but you ain't worked on anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that. We're leaving mentally naked because we didn't gear up for the day. We didn't gear up for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When you avoid the things that you need in the day, in the fight, I believe sometimes we miss the opportunity of taking our life to the next level. And let me tell you why. Any boxer that has won a championship, it's because he has won a lot of what? Fights. If you're not geared up, you're not ready to what? Fight. You can't, if you don't have your gloves on when you get in the ring, I don't care how good you are, they will not allow you to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It is the fight that takes you to the next level. But if you show up without the gear, then you're never presented a fight.
Man,
Mike Tyson wouldn't be who he is if we didn't see him fight.
Yeah.
He got knocked down, he got hit plenty of times. And it got knocked flat on his face. But at the end of the day, people still call him the greatest because they saw him fight. Not just win,
but
they saw him fight. It's a difference.
Man, you got my whole brain done just.
It's a difference.
David fought. You fought. I fought. People listening on this podcast on YouTube have fought. Are fighting.
The person that created the material that we're using right now fought to get this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what they've been through.
That's right.
My message that I teach to people across the globe is a fight. I just dress it up in a way that they like it. But ultimately, it was a fight.
Yeah. Man.
It's a fight.
Fight to be your authentic self, man.
What is, and I'll say this. I think they said, I was reading, I watched it, that Buster Douglas, what did he say? Buster Douglas was the only man that Mike Tyson knocked to the floor that got back up and then knocked him out. Won the fight. If you look at it. So this is what I'm saying. He was the only person, they showed it, he was the only person that ever got knocked down the way he did in the fight and got back up and then knocked him out and won the fight. So what are you saying, Coach Rick? You may get knocked flat on your face. Tyson knocked him flat on his face.
Mm-hmm.
But he got back up with his gear and won the fight against somebody that most of the average person is afraid of. Mm-hmm. And he got back up and won. If you're not willing to get knocked down, then you're not willing to win.
Oh, Coach.
And if you're not willing to get in the ring, you're not willing to fight. And if you're not willing to do any of that, you'll probably never show up for the match anyway. So therefore, I'll just have you to forfeit, pass it to somebody else. Keep a towel on you because you're going to continue to throw it in every second anyway when things get rough. Don't keep the towel on you. Keep the mitts on you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your uniform. Stay uniform ready. So if you got to fight, you're ready. You can't even qualify to win the championship unless you're geared up. Fight by faith and not by walk by faith and not by sight. Fight the good fight of faith. It's all in a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. Every single day it's a fight.
You listen, if somebody ain't running and ready to fight for the next day, preparing themselves, I don't know if you gotta check your heartbeat. These are how my coaching sessions with Coach Rick are. I'm telling you this because I believe it's important, because I mean, Coach has brought me through. We've been, almost 2 years, coming on 2 years, 2 years working together. And when we talk about shifts and ladders, you have to be able to be willing to be challenged to make a shift. Some shifts happen by osmosis, just by you being a human being and existing. Sometimes people got to push you to shift. And some people have to kick your butt up the ladder. Mm-hmm. And say, you ain't coming back down, because I know you don't want you've been there before. Mm-hmm. And Coach has been that person. And you know, I hope, and I won't say I hope, I know this has blessed you. It blessed me. My coaching sessions be like this. I'm spoiled, y'all. I mean, I'm just going to be 100%. I get spoiled. So Coach, if anyone wants to get a hold of you and connect with you to help them be their authentic self, to maximize and optimize who they are and everything that they have been called to and purposed to complete with their time on this earth, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can, all of my social media platforms are at Ricky Kinardo, first and last name, Ricky Kinardo, RICKYKINARTAIL, or you can go to my website, rickykinardo.com, or name of my company, Organized Motivation. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is where I be the most. And I'll be on LinkedIn as well. But at the same time, if you're willing to transform who you are and you're looking to become the best version of yourself, if you want to live by design and not by default, if you want to learn how to master your fundamentals and develop your purpose, if you want to learn how to maximize who you are to the best of your ability, and if you want to learn how to 10x your mindset so you can conceptualize living your future self in this present moment, I would love to serve you. But I'm telling you, you better come geared up, because it's going to be a fight. It ain't easy. But I guarantee you, you will have your chance where you'll win. So get ready. Have a place to put your belt, because we're going to win something in life. Until then, let's get it.
I was just going to say, that's how we close every coaching session. You're like, all right, let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Thanks for tuning into the pod. Share this with somebody. Subscribe on YouTube. We'll make sure to get Coach Rick and all of his handles in the comment section of not just the podcast, but the YouTube as well. And just tune in. He has a YouTube channel as well. Just lock in, because I'm going to tell you, not only do you need the healing for your past, but you need someone to push you into your future. And that is the benefit of having a coach. They can get you to a straight line versus you just trying to figure it out. They're doing all the reading and implementing it and are a person that can encourage you along the way. So I'm saying this because I have had the benefit and the blessing of receiving coaching, and it has literally transformed. I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. And I'm telling you, the risk of not being your authentic self is high. It's really high. And sometimes you need to come alongside and do it with someone that can help you. We're in this together. And like Coach said, you just need someone to push you and tell you every day, let's get it. So, all right. That's Shifts and Ladders for y'all. We'll have an incredible next podcast for you, but just keep it locked. Share this. I know it's blessed you. We probably have to break this into 2 parts, but either way, it's going to bless somebody. So we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.